Good morning. Today we're going to look at special right triangles part 2. So we're going to start at number 19 where we left off with yesterday. You should have finished through 18. And we're going to do 19 through 24 together, and then you're going to do some practice. So let's look at number 19. Okay, we know a couple of things. One, we know that this is 45 degrees. We know that this one is 60 degrees. And then it's given us that the shorter leg in the 30, 60, 90 triangle is 9. Okay, so if you remember, the short leg is technically x. Your long leg should be x root 3. And then your hypotenuse should be 2x. Okay, so a couple of easy things you can do in the 30, 60, 90 triangle, which is this one. Okay, so we know x. That's 9. Now this not this x. It's just an x. Okay, so that's 9. So to find our hypotenuse, which is going to be z, you're doing 2 times that base number, which is 9. So 2 times 9, which is 18. That's giving us z. So we know that 18 is z. Okay. Now that doesn't tell us anything about this other triangle, this 45, 45, 90 triangle. So we need to find the hypotenuse. We need to find this leg here, this one, which is going to be the long leg of this triangle, and it's going to be the hypotenuse of the other triangle. So since it's the long leg, our formula for that is x root 3, or base number root 3, so 9 root 3. So that, I got a lot going on here. But this leg is 9 root 3. So we know z is 18. We know that one's 9 root 3. So we found that whole triangle. So now we know that that is the hypotenuse for the other triangle. Okay, so if in the 45, 45, 90, you remember it was x root 2, the hypotenuse, and then the legs are just x. Okay, so if this is technically equal to x root 2, we're going to say 9 root 3 equals x root 2, and that's going to give us our actual x. So we divide by root 2. Okay, that cancels that root 2 out, and you have 9 root 3. I'm running out of space. You have 9 root 3 over 2 over root 2 is x. So in order to finish this, we got to rationalize that denominator. So we're going to multiply by root 2 over root 2. So when you multiply the top, you're going to get 9 root 6. You multiply the bottom, root 2 times root 2 is 2. Okay, so that gives us x and also gives us y because they have to be the same. So I'm going to delete or erase this. And so our x and our y, 9 root 6 over 2. Okay, so let's do this again. Let's look at number 20. It's a lot, but you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, in this one, look for the triangle that has the leg length given. So it's given us the leg length in our 45, 45, 90. We know that this is 45. Okay, if this is 32, then this one is also 32. Okay, so in 45, 45, 90, let me use this space up here. Okay, we know that our legs are x, which is 32. And our hypotenuse is x root 2, which is 32 root 2. So that tells us what this x is. It's 32 root 2. Okay? So we're not going to have to use that again because it has no connection to the other triangle. However, this 32 here is the hypotenuse for that 30, 60, 90. So if it's the hypotenuse, our hypotenuse formula is 2x. Okay? And we know that our hypotenuse is 32. So to find x, which is technically going to be our short leg, which is z. So let's use z here. To find z, we're going to divide by 2, and z is 16. Okay? And then remember, to find your long leg, that's just going to be z root 3. Z is 16, so it's going to be 16 root 3. Okay? Alright, I want to look at 2 more, and then I want you to do the last 2 by yourself. Okay, we are looking in number 21. I'm going to erase some of this work. We're looking in 21 for the triangle that gives us a leg length, which is the 30, 60, 90. Okay, it gives us the hypotenuse. Our hypotenuse is 12. In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, your hypotenuse formula is 2x, and I can use x because that's the shorter leg length here. Okay, so 2x, and we know that that equals 12. So to find x, we divide by 2, and x is 6. So we know that our short leg length in that problem is 6. Okay? Now we need to find the longer leg length. Our longer leg length is x root 3. So that's technically just 6 root 3. Now that doesn't tell us either of our variables. However, once you move to 45, 45, 90, we know that this leg length and this leg length are the same, which means that y is also 6 root 3. Okay? Now to find z, our hypotenuse we're going to use y, is y root 2. So our y is 6 root 3, and then we're multiplying it by root 2. So we substitute this in for y, and then we multiply it by root 2. So remember, you multiply outside times outside, which is 6, and inside times inside, which is root 6. Now, if that would have simplified, if you've gotten like root 24 and you could have broken it down, then you need to do that. However, that one won't. Okay, I want to look at one more with you. Okay, we have a leg length in our 30, 60, 90. That is our short leg length. Okay, remember our short leg is our base. So our base is 7 root 3. To find the hypotenuse, which is what x is our hypotenuse, you're doing 2 times the base. Okay, so that's 2 times 7 root 3, which is 14 root 3. Okay, so that's our x. Right now, we can't go anywhere because these two aren't attached to that triangle. We can't go anywhere until we know the longer leg length. All right, so the longer leg length is our base root 3. Okay, so if our base is 7 root 3, and then our long leg is base times that root 3, we're going to multiply 7 root 3 times root 3. So 7 root 3 times root 3 is 7 root 9, which is just 7 times 3, which is 21. Now, that gives us this leg length. Okay, now, this is the first time we've seen this, but this is another 30, 60, 90 instead of a 45, 45, 90. So to find y and z, we're going to have to work a little harder because they're not going to be the same. Okay, so 21 is our short leg here, so 21 is our base. Okay, to find the hypotenuse, hypotenuse is just base times 2, which is 21 times 2, which is 42. So y is 42. Okay, and then to find z, that's your longer leg formula is your base, which is 21, times root 3. So 21 times root 3, which is 21 root 3. Okay? I'm going to keep working. I'm going to work these last 2, and then you're going to have some practice to do. I just think that is the best way to help you be successful. So, let's look. This gives us our hypotenuse for our 45, 45, 90. Okay, if our hypotenuse is 15 root 2, and that's supposed to be x root 2, let's say z, because z is our correct variable here. To find z, you divide by root 2, which is just going to cancel out the root 2's on both sides. So z is 15. Okay, so that one was super simple. Okay, so if z is 15, then that means this leg length is also 15, because in 45, 45, 90, the leg lengths are the same. Okay, so that's giving us our longer leg in our 30, 60, 90. So if our longer leg is 15 and our longer leg formula, I'm going to use y because it's our short leg, is y root 3. Then to find y, you got to divide by root 3. Okay? So y equals 15 over root 3. You rationalize that by multiplying by root 3 over root 3. And so y is going to be 15 root 3 over 3. Okay, and now I need to simplify that. So that's 5 root 3. Okay. Now, to find our hypotenuse, this is y was the shorter leg length. Our hypotenuse should be 2y, which is 2 times 5 root 3, which is 10 root 3. Okay? To me, it's just a bunch of formulas. It's just a bunch of algebra, really. You just got to know those little simple x root 3, x root 2, 2x. Okay? So let's look at the last one. Okay, it gives us the longer leg length in the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay, so it's our longer leg length. So our longer leg is 18, and our formula is our short leg, which is z root 3. Okay, short leg. So we divide by root 3, which is the same thing we just did, to get z by itself. So z is 18 over root 3, and you have to rationalize, of course, times root 3 over root 3. So z is 18 root 3 over 3, which will simplify to 6 root 3. So z is 6 root 3. Okay, now that's your short side of your 60, 30, 60, 90. So once you have your short side, to find your hypotenuse, you're going to multiply your short side times 2. So that's going to give you 12 root 3, which does not help you find x or y, or does not give you x and y. So you have to find x and y. So if your hypotenuse is 12 root 3, and your formula is x root 2, you're going to divide by root 2 to get x by itself. And we use x because it's one of our leg lengths. Could have used y because it's the other leg length and they're the same. So that's going to give you x equals 12 root 3 over root 2, and you have to rationalize your denominator. So multiply by root 2 over root 2. So that's 12 root 6 over 2, which will simplify to 6 root 6. And whatever is x, that is also y. Okay, I know that can be confusing, people at home. I'm sorry that it is confusing, but it's just something we're going to have to work through. I'm going to give you some problems to practice. If you have any questions, just let us know.